Hi, this is a video tutorial on how to use Endnote to manage your references while you write. The first thing you need to do is to register with Endnote, and you can do that by going on the site to Endnote. That's my www.myendnotesweb.com. And if you clicked on that, it will take you to Clarivate Analytics, where you can put in your details and sign in. And as soon as you do that, you will be able to get to the Endnote page where you can maneuver. So I'll take you to my own Endnote page and we'll walk from there. So my page looks like this. So I've been working on this quite a lot, so you will see a lot of things that I have already imputed in my Endnote, but I'm going to walk you through the process afresh from the beginning, right? So often, there's two things that you want to do with your references when you're writing an article. The first one is, usually the most important ones, people want to be able to see where you got all your sources, where you got all your information from. So usually you would have a reference list at the end of your writing, which is called a bibliography. So I'm going to focus now on showing you how to generate that bibliography. There's three different ways to do this. So where the mouse cursor is pointing, you find collect. So let's click on collect. If you click on collect, you find three options. There are three ways to collect your reference sources. You can do it by an online search, and on the online search, you see here it says select. You can go straight into the databases that you want and search for the article that you want, straight up. I'm looking for PubMed. So if I clicked on PubMed and I connect, it will take me to PubMed and I can search for any article I want in any field. So maybe you can search by author or by volume, or you can do a merge search. You can search. There are many different options by which you can impute these. You can impute a keyword here, and then medicine. Okay, let's try breast cancer. And I'm searching, what field am I searching for? That's the breast cancer is the title. So you can search by title. And if you know the name of the author, let's say there's an author called Zai that has written something on breast cancer. You could probably search by author. You can do different combinations. You can also search by year. Or if you know the name of the journal you're looking for, you can search by journal. But you just be careful not to over-restrict your search using different wrong permutations. But give it a go, try different things. So let's try this search, right? So if you were to search this, it will give you a list of different authors that have written things related to breast cancer. It's a whole world out there. You see, it keeps giving me more. There's 211, there's 248 now. There's a lot. This kind of search can be very tiring because you come up with so many different things. There's another way to do it. There's new reference. So new reference is the one where you manually input yourself. So you have found the material you are reading. You've read it. You want to now document that you read this material. You want to include it in the reference list. You just come here and manually type it. So type the name of the author. So first, the reference type. Is it an artwork? Is it a blog? You have options there's so many options. Is it a newspaper article? You have options for journal as well. So yes, journal articles. If you're in the sciences, it's most likely what you will be documenting. And then you can put the name of the author, the title, the year, the different things, like all the details you need. I do not do this because this is so very tiring, and this whole reference manager has been set up to do this work for you. I don't need to go through this process, so I never do this. I only do this if I find that When I'm reading an article, it doesn't have the option for me to download the references and then import it to Endnote. If it has an a download option, I never do this. Now, I'll show you what I often do, which is a lifesaver. So the third option says import references. That is home for me. You click on import references, you have this. So you see this option says choose file. And if you've been uploading files, the internet, or for any reason, you'll be very familiar with this. So this is where I'll focus a lot of this tutorial on. Now, let's say you've been reading an article and you have succeeded in downloading the citation from that article. You will, if you download a citation from an article, it will be saved to your computer somewhere, maybe in the download section. So you just click this, it takes you to the download, and you click on that article. If you don't know how to download a citation from an article, I'll show you an example from PubMed, an article I've been reading in PubMed. So I've been reading an article called Age-Related Mutations Associated with Clonal Hematopoietic Expansion and Malignancies, right? On PubMed, and I mean on a lot of other journals, a lot of other journal articles, you'll find an option to download citation. If you so just play around with the different journals that you read and find where to download the citations. If you don't find it, drop me a comment in the description and I will try to walk you through it. But on this PubMed, go to where it says send to, click on it. If you click on the downward arrow, it gives you a lot of options. What we are looking for is Citation Manager. Click on that, it gives you a pop down that says create file. If you click on create file, it downloads it. Now, if you look at the left side of my computer, you find I've downloaded citations 35. 35, this is the 35th citation I'm downloading from PubMed. That is why it's counting as 35, right? So take note of this citation 35 because when you go to your when you go back to Endnote, you need to pick up this exact same citation. So let's go back to Endnote now. Now we have downloaded our reference. So we want to go back to Endnote. Great. So back to Endnote, click on Choose File. Choose File takes you to your computer, and you see this is downloads, and my citations 35 is saved here. To be sure it's the one you see, it is the 3rd of March. And it's at 11:32 and the time now is 11:33. So it's exactly what I want. Click once on it. It shows here as the very article you're looking for and click on open. Note that it has downloaded here. Citation 35 is here. Now click on import options. Endnote wants to know what kind of article is this. I took this from PubMed, so I'm going to look for the PubMed option. Oops. No, not right. So PubMed NLM. Feel free to scroll down, particularly scroll down, scroll the options and look for what looks familiar. You see, that was a PubMed article, so I looked at PubMed. Sometimes you have to look at the extension like NBIB. Sometimes it's an RIS file and you have to click RIS. So just creativity. Sometimes it's a BIBIX file and you have to click on that. Depending on what field you are, there'll be a lot of different things, different options. Just go through them and click on what is familiar. So mine is a PubMed file and it says here we click on to. Now this particular option, this place is very, very, very important. Very important. This is important because assuming you are doing different assignments, right? You're doing an assignment on immunology, an assignment on genetics, an assignment on microbiology. These are 3 different assignments and you read 3 different things and articles for them. Assuming you read different articles within the same space of 1 month and you want to save those articles in your bibliography, you want to save them separately for the different assignments to which they apply. So Endnote allows you to create different files for each of the assignment or work that you're doing. I've been doing an assignment on early onset breast cancer. That's why you see this. Infectious disease. That's why you see this. And I'm doing an assignment on my fourth module. I'm also doing one for a project, so I saved it as project. What is important to you is how to create afresh a new file for a particular writing or assignment that you're doing or project that you're doing. So I'm going to walk you through that. So since this is totally new, click on new group and then click on import. When you do that, it will give you the option to name that new group. Let's say you're working on an immunology assignment. So we'll call this immunology assignment. Immunology assignment, click OK. And it will save to immunology assignment, right? Now we have our reference in immunology assignment. Now we want to find out how do you confirm that this is saved, actually saved in a reference. So let's go back to references. Now, if you check on the left corner, you will find a list of everything, all the assignments you've been working on and where you saved references. And the numbers in bracket just simply show how many references you've saved so far for that particular assignment. And if you find, you notice that infectious disease module has 44. I have downloaded 44 references so far for that module. So that's why you have 44 here. What's important to us now is we were working on immunology assignment. So we click on that one. Oops, what happened now? I clicked on infectious disease. So click on immunology assignment. And you see, we had downloaded that reference, that article called Age-Related Mutations Associated with Clonal Hematopoietic Expansion and Malignancies. So this is that article. If you want to read the full text, you can click here to read the full text, but right now we're not concerned with that. So this is how you find where your reference is. And the more references you add to it, the more this list will build. Let me show you an example from my own assignment, infectious disease module. I click on it, you see, I have a full list of all the 44 references. If I scroll down, you keep finding more, and it's arranged in alphabetical order, which is the beautiful thing about Endnote. Right. So now that we have this, next question, you want to be able to have a full reference list of this to add to the end of your writing for submission. How do you do this? Great. So you go to format, click on format. You'll see four things. You'll see bibliography, cite while you write, format paper, export references. Bibliography is the full list of all the sources you have used for your writing. And that is what you're concerned with. The next one, cite while you write. Cite while you write is a plugin that allows you to input in-text referencing in the body of your work, and I'll explain that in a bit. Format paper is its own different work. And I have never tried this, but I'm assuming that it allows you to still work on your bibliography. And export references allows you to send a copy of the entire bibliography out of this spot. So save it in your computer, email it to yourself, or print it. So I'm going to work on compiling the bibliography, yes, which is what is important to us. So if you click on bibliography, right, you want to compile the bibliography for what you've been writing. And like I said, you could have been doing 4 different assignments, right? So Endnote wants to know which particular assignment you want to compile a bibliography for. I'm going to use one of my own personal assignments because I have a massive list of references that we can use for this demonstration. And again, I'll go to infectious disease module just because I have more references compiled there. So this is infectious disease module. And then Endnote wants to know what style you want your references to be formatted into. Depending on your department, depending on your course, depending on your field of study, there are different sources. In my own field, we use Harvard, so I'll go for Harvard. And you find you'll find that there's a lot of different variations or formats of Harvard, and different fields will be very specific about what they want. If I choose Harvard, Manchester, for example, and then select the file format, the best file format to use is the rich text file, because it's the most comprehensible, the most easy to read format, and usually the most acceptable format in for publications and for other things that you will need to be churning out. You can try experiment with other formats just to see what applies, but I'll choose the RTF. Usually I would preview it first before saving it. So let's preview and print. We click on preview and print. Preview and print allows you to look at the entire referencing, bibliography list, and if you scroll, you'll find an entire list of everything in that list. Now, one thing you need to do is to check this manually, because while this is a Harvard style, it may not be the exact Harvard style that your department or your field requires, right? Example, this one has quotation marks around the topic, the title, and that would never be accepted in my own field of study. You see, before genomics, you have a quotation mark. After food safety, you have a quotation mark. That will never be acceptable. So I would not want to use this Harvard Manchester style. I could probably want to change the bibliographic style. Let us try Harvard Brad and see. So I'll preview again. Harvard Brad. Now, you see, Harvard Brad does not put the quotation mark around genomics and ending at food safety, but it makes one fatal error. It abbreviates the names, like it shortens the names of the authors, showing only the name of the first author and putting et al., which means and others. In my field, you can only use et al. In the in-text referencing. So if you have more than 2 authors, you use the name, the surname of the first author, and use et al. And the year in text in the middle of the reference of your work. You should never use that in the bibliography, in the reference list as specified within my field. So I cannot use this. So essentially what you just need to do is find out exactly what format your field requires. And when you're choosing your bibliography style, always preview and confirm that the methods, the format that is used for that particular variation of the bibliography style confirms with the requirement for your field. If it does not, keep checking other ones until you find it. Or you can get ambitious and correct it manually yourself. I do that a lot sometimes. So it will take you an extra hour or 2 of your time, but it will ultimately be worth it. So for now, I'm going to go back to Harvard, Manchester, just for the demo. Or let's just, Harvard, okay, I'll go to Harvard, Manchester, and I'll leave it there for now. Great. So after this, you can save, click on save, and it should download. So you should download an export list that is a Word document, right? So export list 5. I think this is the 5th export list I've downloaded to my computer. And if you click on that, it will take you to where it is saved, right? I'm getting a dialog. It will open in a bit. So it will open, right? Amazing. So we have our beautiful Word document with every reference for that particular assignment we are doing. You have it beautifully listed for you, and voila, there it is. So as I said, always feel free to look through this and ensure that it complies with your format. And the next common sense thing to do is to copy this and paste onto your document. And copy it and paste onto your the assignment you're doing or the project you're doing, and that's it. Quite simple. Now let's go back to Endnote. So now we know how to create a bibliography. How about how to create in-text citation? To be fair, you can always do it by yourself. So just type it by yourself, Bradford et al. 2017. That's simple. That's about not more than forwards. You can do that throughout the article if you want, but Endnote can help you do it as well. So that's where the Cite While You Write plugin is important. If you click on the Cite While You Write plugin, you have to download the plugin to your computer so that it annexes to your Microsoft Word, whatever package you use to type your document. You need to be able to read to that or write to that as well. So you can download it for Mac or download for Windows. I have already downloaded for Windows, so I already have the plugin. If you have the plugin, this is what it will look like. So if you go to a Word document, you go to an assignment you've been doing. Let's go to one of my assignments. I'm going to go to my Module 5 assignment. So if you have the Cite While You Write plugin, if you look up here, you should have Endnote here. And Endnote, and that is how you'll be able to insert your in-text referencing. So let's click on Endnote, right? If you click on Endnote, you'll find a portion called Insert Citations. Click on Insert Citations. Now, this was something I did before, right? But I'll do it again. So let's say I want to, normally this should be blank if you're just starting afresh, right? Now I want to insert a citation from an author called Zai. Okay, hold on. I need to do this afresh just so you can see. So insert citations. This is still showing. Okay. So I'm going to insert. Okay, give me a minute. Let me get an article from a totally fresh author, just so we see. Awesome. I want an author called Alad. Great. So let's go back. Let's go back to our document. So again, I'll walk you back. So we are on the assignment that I'm doing, and I want to include in-text citation. So in-text citation, and I know that one of the authors that I used for this particular assignment was called Alad. So I'll click on Alad, and I will find. Endnote to search for anything by Alad and write. You see, this was the first article we saw. It was by Alad, written in 2018, and the title was Genomics of Food Pathogens for Microbial Food Safety, right? So we have that. Normally, assuming you had a list of more than one, you had 1, 2, 3, you click on the one that you want. Now, this is already automatically clicked. It's colored in blue because that is the only one. So you come down here, click on insert. Now, the one thing you see, depending on where you are, depending on where your cursor is, when you go to search for the references to insert, it will insert in that very spot. Now, I should have done it at the end here. This is where I should have done it. So I'm going to just copy it from here and paste it here. Nice. I don't need that to be in bold, so I'm going to remove the bold. Awesome. So you see, we've inserted our citations. I think I need a copy. Hold on for me. Okay, I'm just making that look tidy. And voila, there you go. So you have your article already. You have your citation already put in for you without having to type it up yourself. Also note that now you see this while this is nicely written, but it doesn't conform with the format for my field. The format for my field in Harvard, you would need a full stop and then a comma here, but this doesn't do it. And why didn't that happen? Because I did not choose the style that I wanted Cite While You Write to use. So now I'm going to delete this because it doesn't conform. Oops. It doesn't conform with what I want. I'll come back here, and where it says style, I'll choose my style. So click here and choose your style. These are the available formats. I will choose Cite Them Right Harvard, and that will become the default style the default style for my in-text references. So you see it has changed the citation format. So you see that Allard et al. 2018. Now you see the et al. is now italicized. There's a full stop and there's a comma. That is exactly what my field would require. So always two things to remember with cite them right. Always remember to choose your style to the one you want, and then click on insert, search by author name or search by keywords in the title, and if you find it, click on the one that applies to you, insert, and it will go automatically. That seems pretty much like the basics of what you need to know about Endnote. Feel free to explore Endnote for yourself. There's a lot that can be done. You can export your references. There's other interesting things that Endnote can allow you to do. I think that, yes, let's go to organize. Something I find very useful with organize is finding duplicates. Now, sometimes you download the same citation 2 times, and so yes, find duplicates. So you see, I've downloaded the same citation 3 times. So if Endnote has automatically ticked 2 and suggested that I delete the 2. So if I want to delete, because these 2 are already ticked, if I click on delete, it will delete both. However, be careful with this, because assuming these 3 different articles were downloaded for 3 different assignments, you want to make sure these 3 are included in the 3 different reference lists, because the same article may be relevant for an assignment on immunology, same for an assignment on virology, same for an assignment on breast cancer, depending on, all 3 could be relevant, and Endnote may pick it up as a duplicate for every reference you have, regardless of which particular assignment or project you're working on. So be careful with deleting duplicates. Make sure that the duplicates are within the same assignment or project you're working on, right? Also, you can also manage your groups. So if you click on manage my groups, Endnote shows you all the different groups you're working on. It shows you the number of references you have per group. Allows you to manage sharing. You can also rename your group. So if this is immunology assignment, you want to change it to virology assignment, you can click on rename and to allow you to rename. So yeah. If you want to delete it, so you created too many assignments and you don't need to do one assignment anymore, or you've done one assignment and you don't want to leave that, you want to delete it from Endnote for whatever reason, you can click on delete and it will delete it. You can also create a new group here as an alternative to creating it the other way I showed earlier. That is also possible. So with Endnote, feel free to play around. There are different things. There's downloads. This just gives you information about how to download the site while you write plugin, captures, and other very useful plugins that can help. So feel free, look around Endnote, explore. I hope this was helpful.